Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled Parents. Story 1. Entitled Family Causes Scene at Graduation. My Sil graduated medical school over the weekend. At the ceremony a family sat behind us. They had a 4-year-old girl who kept running back and forth, kicking our seats, playing with our coats and hair, whining, and coughing etc. After about 40 minutes of this, my Phil started throwing the parents dirty looks and finally asked the girl and her mom to stop kicking his chair. That was all he asked. The woman, Karen, grabbed her child and said, "Fine. This is my husband's graduation, but I guess I'll just have to miss it. Thanks a lot." And then she took her kid and left. The grandma, Karen Sr., stayed and was pissed. She said, "Why don't you just deal with it? She's not feeling well." Our group ignored her. After the ceremony the graduate husband came and found Phil and expressed his dissatisfaction at him making his wife leave. When again no one asked her to leave. It ended up being a comically dramatic situation with Karen Sr. trying to shame us for not putting up with the kid. I very calmly asked these people, "Why don't you just parent your child?" They had no answer and stomped away. As a former teacher and someone who loves kids, I get that kids will be kids. But parents are responsible for teaching their kids how to act in public. It's not okay for a child to be all up in other people's personal spaces. Story 2. Update: how can I get my dad to love me again and talk things out with me? Things have gotten a lot worse. DCF is in and out of my life RN. First, we went to CSO. They got DCF involved but also didn't help other than that. Then I went to the hospital and they didn't do a thing. The whore has also gotten a bit worse. She tried to convince my dad I'm not gay for some reason. I have a GF. And wanted to get me to smoke weed even though I don't want to. She's doing that to get me in trouble with my dad, I think. She also has been to my dad about things I say to her, but a couple of times my dad has seen through it. They broke up, 37, right around the time DCF was coming to the house but got back together 2 days later. My dad thinks I have BPD. I think it's possible, but I know there are things I have that are diagnosed that definitely think contribute to what's been going on. But the thing is, my dad makes zero effort to try and help or accommodate me. I have reached out many times to get help but he just tells me to grow up. Mind you, I am 14YO and in college. I got into college by myself. I think I'm at least a bit grown. Also, my dad constantly likes to make the arguments that I want him to be alone and sad forever. I really want to like Allie, the whore, and I really want her to like me. She's my second chance at having a mom, but she has made it very clear that she does not want / like kids. I am just absolutely insane like my bio mom. I am lazy. I clean up after him all week. He and the whore leave beer cans everywhere. He is the best parent on earth and I live in luxury. We are very poor. He is not willing in any way to love or help me, and to him putting a roof over my head is far more than the bare minimum. He has said, "I don't need to be your parent, I don't need to be here. Be grateful. And also, I can't help you, I don't know how to be your parent." My dad used to be so nice and happy, I was happy. But now, he has no friends, he doesn't talk to his family at all and he lost almost 80 BLS, he was already skinny but now the doctor is saying it's dangerous. Also, now he's saying that I messed too bad this time and there is fixing this ORU. I don't know what to do. Overall, I just really miss my dad. Story 3. My parents believe we should travel 10HOURS via flight to them so that they get to see their granddaughter. We live in New Zealand and my parents live in Singapore. This is the first grandchild in the family. She just turned 2 years old. My parents came to NZ once when she was 8 months old. They stayed for 6 weeks. They didn't enjoy the visit thoroughly as they prefer the weather in Singapore and they miss their type of foods available back home too. They also find the 10HOUR flight tiresome and would rather not do it too often. My husband is a teacher and they're expecting us to fly to Singapore during the summer holidays this year to spend a good 4 to 5 weeks with them so they get to see their granddaughter again. I've tried explaining that it's stressful for us to fly with a toddler and have her entire routine and sleep schedule. She sleeps in a crib in her own room here, disrupt, and we are nervous to do it. They emotionally blackmail us and say if we don't come to them then my daughter won't know them and they won't get to spend time with her. Is it really my job to make sure that they get to see her? They are fully capable enough to fly to us but won't do it. Story 4. My dad tries to excuse not paying for a movie ticket. This happened like a year ago but I just thought of it. On July of last year me, my brother, my dad, entitled father, and my F's friend, EFF, and her 2 babies drove to the movies to watch Minions, The Rise of Gru. After that we all, by force, by my dad, and not by choice, run into the room across from Minions playing Black Phone. He tells all of us to just find a seat. After I think a minute of being in that theater room, a theater employee, T, who judging by how he looked he couldn't be older than 16 or 17, escorts us out of the room. He tells us that me, my brother, and EEF's babies aren't old enough to watch Black Phone. My dad tries to excuse it by saying that back when he was a kid, he could watch R-rated movies. T told him this theater doesn't work like that. F got mad and started yelling saying nothing says that that's a rule. T says that he agrees to the role when he buys a ticket and asks F for his ticket. F, trying to deflect the question, tries to keep on telling him that he doesn't need to. T, very stressed out, accidentally says something along on the lines of for fuck's sake and F gets mad at him for swearing in front of us, even though he snuck us into an R-rated movie. T called the supervisor and they let us off with a warning. On the car ride back to my mom's house to drop me and my brother off, F kept saying that he was in the right and that he couldn't believe it. Story 5. Yes, our yard your problem. So basically, we had the local Karen in our neighborhood with like 4 kids. I'll call entitled parent EP. Lives near us, like, next to our house near us, and that can get annoying. Me, my dad, and my sister mother is at work 24/7, and dad is retired. We're at home kinda, just, chilling. Dad was sleeping, me probably sleeping as well, and sister downstairs playing on her tablet. Then the transformer on the telephone pole in our yard freaking just explodes as loud as a cannon. Early in the morning, everyone is surprised, we were confused, then we were like oh shat, no more power. Good thing we have the old ass generator which works like a champ of course. Only needed a oil change and like 2 small parts needed to be fixed over the years, that's only when it failed us, so now, old Gene starts up, and keeps on running, for how long? Oh, like for 3 days straight. EP gets extremely angry, and calls the police on us. Why? Because our generator was too loud. Oh no. Whatever shall we do? Police come. My dad is confused. He was thinking we go to church. We are good people. What did we do? The police explain EP called because of the generator. Dad explains we can't really turn it off, since we need power. Police understand fully, and leave. EP is angry. She kinda just stink-eyes our house for the rest of the day like she was planning something she didn't. A year later, my dad decides to dazzle up the house. New grey paint, carpet, siding, windows, now to deal with the ugly skinny trees in the backyard and replace them with beautiful flowers. So we order a company to cut down and grind the roots/removed roots, and oh, can you guess what happens? Child jumps into the fire pit? Our mini playground disappeared? Someone replaced the fence which we own? Nope. EP calls the police, yet again, because we ordered a tree company to cut down some small skinny trees. My dad of course couldn't do it. Me and my sister were not trusted with any power tools, and mother was at work almost the whole day whole week, which is why we called them. So police come again, and are very annoyed because they remember last time EP called, so they asked my dad what was the commotion. Dad tells them we ordered a company to cut down some trees which wouldn't take long, since they're very small, and police left. EP got angry, later she moved out, thank God, and we don't have to deal with her anymore. Big win. Sorry for any grammar mistakes, LMFAO. Story 6. My grandma is so entitled. If this counts, but she is technically a parent, lol. So for context, my family and I have been living with my grandma for the past 7 years. We also provide literally everything. Food, toiletries, bills, almost everything. Also, this is more so just a big compilation of all the entitled moments I can't think of. ADP. We will call her EG. Not only did she do this, she ordered us around to do everything, she only kept us around to do things for her, and whenever she lost all her money from gambling, she would find anything and everything to get mad about. She would yell and scream and throw all our stuff on the ground and make us pick it up again. She would also randomly throw away our stuff, and I remember vividly having to go through our entire trash on multiple occasions to retrieve most our stuff. She did this, and then when we obviously didn't want anything to do with her, she would buy us something, usually candy. As an impressionable kid, candy was an apology. She would also go in both my parents' rooms and rearrange everything and clean things up to her own liking without anyone's permission. She would also find things and take them. She also always says, "Fine, then you move out," or something of the sort. We have tried moving out or telling her we are, and she has a whole mental breakdown saying we can't. Sadly, we do not have the funds to move, we barely can live paycheck to paycheck. As we get older, we don't let her try her power trips, get us caught up. We would usually ignore her antics and still do. Many times she will try to talk to me and I ignore her, or she will ask some stupid non-important questions and will ignore her, and she will scream at me and run off. Now that me and my brother are older, she is doing the same exact things to my younger siblings. They are the same age gap as my brother and I, so it's very disheartening to see. She expects everyone to like her and serve her, even though she is an awful person to everyone. She also holds my sister on a pedestal like she can't do any wrong. If my sister does something clearly wrong, my grandma will either say something like, "Yeah, and you do it too," or "She's just a kid." She won't acknowledge her wrongdoings and will shift blame to anyone else. My sister is a spoiled brat because of my EG. My mom has done so much to stop my EG. Many times there are screaming battles. She will also go behind my mom's back once she tells my siblings they can't do or have something and let them. She tells my siblings that when my mom's not home, her rules don't apply. It's hard because my mom and I cannot watch my siblings and my grandma. It's so fucking annoying. Don't even get me started on when we are in public. She is so rude to every single customer service person or worker. She always yells at them or gives some kind of remark even if they give the best service ever. There has been so many times she berates and belittles them right in front of everyone and proceeds to laugh and isn't embarrassed by any of it. Also, she cuts in lines all the time, literally she will just go to the front of the line. Whenever she is asking for a worker, she will be so disrespectful and yell things like "Hey you," or just point at them or just yell for them to come over there. She has zero respect for strangers but yet respects the utmost respect from them. She also tried many times to lie to them, and scream that they got an order wrong or overcharged or something, to the point they get fed up and give her what she wants. She always invites herself anytime we go somewhere. She gets all pissy and mad if she isn't included in intimate planning between us as family. When she does go anywhere with us, she will literally not only be a rude bitch to everyone, she will start being mean to us too whenever she is ready to go. She will literally straight tell my mom in a tone how that she doesn't want to be here and she is ready to go. Usually we are doing something for the kids. Oh yeah, this is a more specific situation, but it was so crazy to me. My mom made spaghetti for dinner. It's easy and the kids like it. My grandma had the audacity to go the kitchen, huff and puff, and proceed to tell my something along the lines of, "You know I don't like spaghetti, why do you keep making it?" She was so mad at the fact my mom made dinner. This wasn't a special night, it was a regular day. Everyone but her likes spaghetti. My mom blew up at her and she just ran to her room in a huff. When she goes out, she has keys to the house, well, 2 keys matter of fact. Yet she proceeds to ring and jiggle the door handle a crazy amount. She doesn't wait for anyone to answer, she will continuously ring and knock. I remember one time it was only me and my sister there and we were asleep and I woke up to the doorbell being rung probably 100 times. I was so pissed I didn't even open the door. Of course she had the keys and finally let herself in. There is most definitely many more instances of her entitlement, but I cannot list them all on one post. I am baffled that me, an 18-year-old, is more aware of how awful she is and treats everyone versus how aware a 70-year-old woman is. How does one deal with this? She is literally an energy vampire. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.